Now we'll go into the public request for, if you have any public comments that anybody wants to say on anything that's not published on the agenda. You're welcome to do so now. Please come up. You state your name. You have 2 minutes to do so, please. You want to be like a timekeeper in it?
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Mary Ann Andy. I want to thank you for sending us your copy of the facts and findings. Joy, you did that. And I'd like just a couple questions here. When you mentioned we'd start a committee at some point to perhaps look at the conditional use permit, do you know when that would happen? And the other question I have for you is, we would plead with you and ask you, please, if the commissioners would perhaps on Saturday, it's supposed to be a nice day on Saturday, come out to our area and listen to the shooting. You know, it's very different to see the decibel readings that you heard about than to hear 50 people shooting on a Saturday morning. And it's supposed to be a nice day, and I would really ask that you might consider just driving up there, you know, 10, 11 o'clock, and, you know, just park and listen for 5 or 10 minutes, and to form your own opinions as you're going to be making decisions upon this coming up that are, you know, very important decisions. So we really request that you might just do that and you know, hear what we're hearing. So we appreciate that if you would. And then I have a letter that you all have that I'm going to read just briefly because my 2 minutes may run up. And so in the facts and finding, it's noted that the application of SASS on the 14th requested the inclusion of the Founders Ranch shotgun range. As this request has not been approved by the board, we're concerned that this decision has and is not being respected. To date, the noise produced by shotgun fire is ever present. And we'd like to point out also that SASS has still had plans for the Warrior Dash. I believe, and I could be wrong, they have also increased the size of the shotgun range, and they continue to make plans which, in our opinion, do not take into consideration your ruling and really just disregard. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Good morning. We're still having a problem with the Warrior.
Would you state your name, please?
I did.
Can you state it a little clearer for the record?
Brian Casey.
Thank you.
We're still having a problem with SASS shooting, but the Warrior Dash is being scheduled again for the 27th of April. And I would like to point out that it's a lot more than the roads. I see somebody's worked a little bit on Barton Road, ran a grader down a couple times. Big improvement, but a long way from being a feasible road. And my problem with the Warrior Dash was the fire, because the drought does still continue, even though we did have a little bit of moisture recently. The fire, the noise, the traffic study's never been done. And they're planning on heats of 600 people every half hour from 9 to 2, and 6,600 people. And we know that the traffic situation has not improved even a little bit. And their traffic plan, making left-hand turns, is going to impede traffic for everybody out there. Not only Torrance County residents, but also Bernalillo and Santa Fe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Michael Guddy. And what bothers me about the Warrior Dash, and also bothered me about when I went to a P&Z meeting where they had a tower that was put up without a permit. And the company who did it had an excuse, of course, and I'm sure SASS has an excuse. But I think it's time to really enforce having a permit before you do something, particularly when it's a commercial thing, because commercial things have a larger impact than an individual. So I think it's very important that the county actually do its job and make sure the permits, and if there isn't a permit, turn down this stuff. Because are we living by the rules of the permits, or are we living by excuses? Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else?
Mr. Chair, I would like to make one comment for the record. If the commission does want to go out there and listen to a viewing, then it needs to be a published meeting. Otherwise, and you guys need to do it as a group. Otherwise, it would, Adolfo can help me with the words, it would jeopardize your capacity as a commissioner.
I believe that happened before.
Correct.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, just for my verification, since we're in that 30-day time period, and that they have the right to appeal, can we even go out there?
I think I would. I would recommend not, but I mean, you can. But the reason I recommend you not to is if it comes back before you, you want to base your decisions on the records before you. And so Joy's suggestion of doing it as a special meeting to ensure that you're not violating the Open Meetings Act, and you're not, it would have to be an agenda item before you to go do that kind of investigation. The other way that is probably more advisable is to advise your staff, or request that your staff go do that. But again, as part of an agenda item that's before you.
Okay.
Right now, there isn't an agenda item before you on point.
Thank you.